What if I told you that right now, sitting in someone's garage or rusting away in a field, there could be a pickup truck worth more than a modern Lamborghini? I'm talking about machines so rare that fewer than 2,000 were ever made, trucks that automotive historians consider the holy grail of American muscle. Today, we're diving deep into the forgotten legends of the 1970s, the decade that gave us some of the rarest, most valuable pickup trucks ever to roll off American assembly lines. Some of these beauties are so scarce that finding one is like striking gold. But here's the thing. If you're a true automotive enthusiast who loves discovering hidden gems that most people have never heard of, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Because we're about to take you on a journey through automotive history that 99% of truck lovers have never experienced. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the 10 rarest pickup trucks from the 1970s. And I guarantee at least 8 of these will completely blow your mind. 10 GMC Sprint. Starting our countdown at number 10, we have the GMC Sprint, the forgotten sibling that lived in the shadow of the famous Chevrolet El Camino. Here's what makes the Sprint incredibly rare. While the El Camino was selling nearly 20,000 units per year during the mid-70s, the GMC Sprint was essentially the same vehicle but sold exclusively through GMC truck dealers with different badging and trim. Production numbers were a fraction of the El Camino's success. The Sprint shared the El Camino's A-body platform, which was based on the Chevelle, available with everything from a 250 cubic inch inline-six to the powerful 454 big block V8. These truck cars offered serious performance. The 1976 model could be equipped with the L75 454 that produced 215 horsepower. What makes finding a Sprint today so challenging is that many people don't even know they exist. They were overshadowed by their Chevrolet cousin, and with significantly lower production numbers, they've become the unicorn of car-based pickup trucks. A pristine Sprint today can command 20 to 30% more than a comparable El Camino simply due to rarity. 9. Dodge D100 Dude. Coming in at number 9, we have the Dodge D100 Dude, a truck that sounds like it should be cruising California beaches, not hauling cargo. And honestly, that's exactly what Dodge intended. The Dude wasn't just a regular pickup with a fancy name. It was Dodge's attempt to create a lifestyle truck before anyone knew what that meant. Available from 1971 to 1976, the Dude came with special graphics, wood grain side panels, and interior appointments that were more like a car than a work truck. What makes the Dude particularly rare is that it was built during Dodge's transition period when they were moving from the classic D-Series design to the more modern styling. The 1974 to 1976 models, which featured the distinctive grille and headlight arrangement, had extremely limited production runs. We're talking about maybe 3,000 to 4,000 total units over those 3 years. The rarest of the rare were the Dude models equipped with the 440 Magnum V8. These trucks could actually outrun most muscle cars of the era while still being able to haul a half-ton of cargo. Today, finding a Dude in good condition is like finding a needle in a haystack, especially with the original wood grain intact. 8. Chevrolet C10 Cheyenne Super. At number 8, we have the Chevrolet C10 Cheyenne Super. And before you say, wait, C10s aren't rare, let me tell you why this specific trim level is automotive gold. The Cheyenne Super was only available from 1974 to 1976, and it represented the absolute top-of-the-line trim for Chevrolet's pickup line. We're not talking about your regular work truck here. The Cheyenne Super came with luxuries that wouldn't look out of place in a Cadillac. Deep pile carpeting, wood grain dashboard trim, bucket seats, and even air conditioning as standard equipment. But here's what makes them incredibly rare. The majority of these trucks were actually purchased by people who use them as daily drivers and work trucks. The fancy interior didn't stop them from being used hard, and most were driven into the ground. Conservative estimates suggest fewer than 1,000 original Cheyenne Super trucks survive today in collectible condition. The crown jewel was a Cheyenne Super equipped with the L75 454 big block. This combination of luxury and performance was so rare that Chevrolet only built a few hundred of them. The 454 produced 215 horsepower and 350 lb-ft of torque, making it capable of towing massive loads while you sat in air-conditioned comfort. What really sets survivors apart is the level of detail Chevrolet put into these trucks. The seat patterns, the dashboard layout, even the door panels were unique to the Cheyenne Super line. Finding one today with all original interior pieces intact is like finding automotive treasure. 7. Ford F-100 Ranger XLT. Number 7 takes US to Ford territory with the F-100 Ranger XLT, a truck that represented Ford's answer to Chevrolet's luxury pickup challenge. The Ranger XLT was introduced in 1970 as Ford's premium pickup package, but the 1973 to 1976 models were truly special. These trucks came with features that were almost unheard of in pickup trucks: color-keyed interior, plush carpeting, wood grain accents, and even options like cruise control and power windows. What makes the F-100 Ranger XLT particularly rare is the engine option that most people don't know existed: the 460 cubic inch V8. While most F-100s came with smaller engines, the Ranger XLT could be ordered with this massive big block that was typically reserved for Ford's heavy-duty trucks and luxury cars. The 460 powered F-100 Ranger XLT is perhaps one of the rarest combinations from the 1970s. Ford built fewer than 2,000 of these monsters over the entire production run. The 460 produced 245 horsepower and a massive 380 lb-ft of torque, making it capable of effortlessly towing anything you could hook up to it. But here's the kicker: most people who ordered the 460 actually used their trucks for serious work. They weren't garage queens, which means finding one today in original condition is extremely difficult. The few survivors command premium prices at auction, often selling for more than contemporary muscle cars. 6. International Harvester Scout 2 Terra. Coming in at number 6, we have the International Harvester Scout 2 Terra, a truck that most people don't even know exists, which is exactly why it's so rare and valuable today. The Terra was International Harvester's attempt to compete with the Ford Ranchero and Chevrolet El Camino, but with serious off-road capability. Built from 1976 to 1980, the Terra took the Scout 2's rugged four-wheel drive platform and added a pickup bed instead of the traditional SUV body. What made the Terra special was its combination of capabilities that no other truck could match. It had the off-road prowess of a Scout 2, the utility of a pickup truck, and the compact size that made it perfect for both city driving and trailblazing. International offered it with their bulletproof 345 cubic inch V8 or the legendary 392 cubic inch big block. Here's why they're so rare. International Harvester was primarily known for farm equipment and heavy trucks, not consumer vehicles. Their dealer network was limited compared to Ford, GM, and Chrysler, which meant fewer people even knew the Terra existed. Total production over the entire run was less than 15,000 units. The rarest Terra is the 1979 model with the 392 V8 and the special SSI package. This combination included upgraded suspension, wider tires, and performance modifications that made it capable of outrunning most full-size pickups while still being able to climb mountains. Fewer than 500 of these were ever built. Today, finding a Terra in good condition is like finding automotive history that time forgot. They represent American ingenuity at its finest, a truck that could do everything well before anyone thought to build such a vehicle. 5. Dodge Ram Charger SE. At number 5, we have the Dodge Ram Charger SE. And yes, I know what you're thinking, that's not a pickup truck. But hear me out, because this is where things get really interesting. The 1974 to 1977 Ram Charger SE was available with a removable top section, which essentially turned it into a convertible pickup truck. With the top off and the tailgate down, you had a vehicle that was part SUV, part pickup, and completely unique. But the SE package is what makes these trucks legendary. The SE stood for Special Edition, and it included features that were almost unheard of in off-road vehicles. Plush carpeting, bucket seats, wood grain trim, and even options like air conditioning and power steering. It was luxury off-roading before anyone knew what that meant. The rarest configuration was the SE with the 440 Magnum V8. This engine produced 280 horsepower and 380 lb-ft of torque, making it one of the most powerful off-road vehicles of the decade. The combination of the removable top, luxury interior, and massive V8 made it the ultimate toy for wealthy outdoor enthusiasts. What makes finding one today so difficult is that most Ram Charger SEs were used exactly as intended for serious off-road adventures. They were taken hunting, camping, and trail riding, which means most were heavily used and modified. Finding one with the original interior intact and the removable top hardware still functional is extremely rare. Dodge only built about 8,000 Ramcharger SEs over the entire production run, and fewer than 2,000 came with the 440 engine. Today, a pristine example can sell for more than many classic muscle cars, especially if it still has the original top and all the SE trim pieces. For GMC Gentleman Jim, number 4 brings us to one of the most unusual trucks ever built, the GMC Gentleman Jim. If you've never heard of it, don't worry, most truck enthusiasts haven't either, which is exactly why it's so valuable today. The Gentleman Jim was GMC's ultra-luxury pickup truck, available only in 1976. It wasn't just a regular GMC with fancy trim. It was completely re-engineered for luxury. The interior featured genuine leather seats, real wood trim, and carpeting so thick you could lose your keys in it. But what made the Gentleman Jim truly special was the exterior treatment. It came with unique paint schemes, chrome accents that weren't available on any other GMC truck, and body cladding that gave it an almost limousine-like appearance. The attention to detail was extraordinary. Even the tailgate had special Gentleman Jim badging. Here's the crazy part. GMC only built 2,500 Gentleman Jim trucks total. They were expensive, costing nearly twice as much as a regular pickup, which limited their appeal to wealthy buyers who wanted something truly unique. The rarest of the rare was the Gentleman Jim with the 454 cubic inch V8 and the optional camper special package. This combination was built for people who wanted to tow large travel trailers in absolute luxury. Fewer than 300 of these were ever built, making them one of the rarest pickup trucks of the entire decade. What makes finding a Gentleman Jim today so challenging is that they were often purchased by older, affluent buyers who used them sparingly. Many were stored in garages for decades, but finding one with all the original luxury appointments intact is like striking gold. The leather with trim and special exterior pieces are nearly impossible to replace. 3. Ford Ranchero GT Brougham. Taking the number 3 spot is the Ford Ranchero GT Brougham, a combination that sounds almost contradictory but represents one of the most desirable pickup trucks ever built. The Ranchero GT was already rare, but the Brougham package took luxury to an entirely different level. Available only in 1977 and 1978, the GT Brougham combined the performance of the GT package with interior appointments that rivaled Lincoln's luxury cars. The GT Brougham came standard with the 351 modified V8, but the Real Treasure was the optional 400 cubic inch V8. This engine, when properly tuned, could produce over 300 horsepower and gave the Ranchero performance that could embarrass dedicated sports cars. But performance was just part of the story. The Brougham interior featured genuine leather seating surfaces, real walnut wood trim, and luxury amenities like power windows, power locks, and even an optional moonroof. The dashboard was borrowed from the Ford LTD2, giving it a luxury car feel and a truck body. What makes the GT Brougham extraordinarily rare is that Ford built fewer than 1,500 of them over the 2-year production run. Most buyers who wanted performance went with the regular GT, while luxury buyers chose the standard Brougham without the performance upgrades. The GT Brougham attracted a very specific buyer who wanted both worlds. The rarest configuration was a 1978 GT Brougham with a 400 V8 moonroof and the special two-tone paint option. Fewer than 200 of these were built, making them almost mythical in collector circles. Today, finding a GT Brougham in original condition is like finding automotive perfection. They represent the peak of 1970s truck luxury combined with genuine performance capability. A pristine example can easily sell for 6 figures at auction. 2. Chevrolet Love Mikado. Coming in at number 2, we have something completely different, the Chevrolet Love Mikado. Now, before you say this isn't a real American truck, let me explain why this little Japanese import sold through Chevrolet dealers is one of the rarest finds of the decade. The Love, which stood for Light Utility Vehicle, was actually an Isuzu truck rebadged for Chevrolet. But the Mikado package, available only in 1978 and 1979, was a collaboration between Chevrolet and Isuzu that created something truly unique. The Mikado featured custom two-tone paint schemes that weren't available on regular Love trucks, special interior trim, and unique wheels that gave it a distinctly American appearance despite its Japanese origins. But what made it special was the attention to detail. The Mikado had features like tinted glass, upgraded sound systems, and even optional air conditioning, which was unusual for small trucks of the era. Here's why the Mikado is so rare. Chevrolet dealers weren't really sure how to market a luxury version of a small truck. The concept was ahead of its time, and sales were limited to coastal areas where compact trucks were more accepted. Total production was less than 3,000 units over the 2-year run. The rarest Mikado is the 1979 model with the optional 4-wheel drive system. Isuzu's 4WD technology was actually superior to most American systems at the time, making these trucks incredibly capable off-road while still being comfortable on-road. Fewer than 400 of these 4WD Mikados were ever built. Today, the Mikado represents the beginning of the compact luxury truck segment that would eventually become hugely popular. Finding one in original condition is extremely difficult because most were used as daily drivers and work trucks. One Dodge Little Red Express. And finally, at number 1, we have the ultimate rare pickup truck of the 1970s, the Dodge Little Red Express. This truck isn't just rare, it's legendary, representing the last hurrah of American truck performance before emissions regulations changed everything. Built only in 1978 and 1979, the Little Red Express was Dodge's answer to the performance truck market that nobody knew existed yet. It came standard with a 360 cubic inch V8 equipped with a police specification camshaft, special exhaust headers, and dual exhaust stacks mounted vertically behind the cab. But the Little Red Express wasn't just about performance, it was about attitude. Every truck came in the same Warlock red paint with gold pinstriping, wood grain bed rails, and chrome details that made it look like a show truck straight from the factory. The interior featured special trim and gauges that emphasized its performance mission. Here's what makes the Little Red Express truly legendary. In 1978, it was actually the fastest American-built vehicle, faster than the Corvette, faster than any muscle car still in production. Motor Trend tested one and recorded a 0 to 60 time of 6.7 seconds, which was incredible for a pickup truck. Dodge only built 2,188 Little Red Express trucks in 1978 and 5,118 in 1979, making the total production just over 7,000 units. But finding one today in original condition is extremely difficult. Many were modified over the years, and the distinctive exhaust stacks and wood grain bed rails are often missing or damaged. The 1978 models are particularly rare and valuable because they were the first year and had the most restrictive production numbers. A pristine 1978 Little Red Express in original condition can sell for more than $50,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable pickup trucks of the entire decade that WER locks, and even an optional moonroof. The dashboard was borrowed from the Ford LTD2, giving it a luxury car feel and a truck body. What makes the GT Brougham extraordinarily rare is that Ford built fewer than 1,500 of them over the 2-year production run. Most buyers who wanted performance went with the regular GT, while luxury buyers chose the standard Brougham without the performance upgrades. The GT Brougham attracted a very specific buyer who wanted both worlds. The rarest configuration was the 1978 GT Brougham with the 400 V8 moonroof and the special two-tone paint option. Fewer than 200 of these were built, making them almost mythical in collector circles. Today, finding a GT Brougham in original condition is like finding automotive perfection. They represent the peak of 1970s truck luxury combined with genuine performance capability. A pristine example can easily sell for 6 figures at auction.